Hello, I'm Dr. Brandt Gibson, and one of the problems that we're running into now as people learn more about peripheral neuropathy is they're starting to find all kinds of options, all kinds of treatments, and they end up saying, okay, I don't know which treatments to use, which treatments not to use. How do I know what's going to work, what's not going to work? So I'm going to give you some simple steps to help you determine what types of treatments you should be using for your peripheral neuropathy. Number one, you need to understand your symptoms and you treat those symptoms. There are really just a couple ways that you can actually treat symptoms. One is to repress those symptoms. That can be done by topical and oral medications, although the ideal would be to use something that is more long-term, like resetting the nerves. There are forms of electrical stimulation that you can actually use to reset the nerves, or to re-educate the nerves. The most effective machines for that are the Rebuilder and Calmare machines, which actually help the nerves start to function more correctly. So you lose the symptoms by getting them to communicate better with the brain. You could also use some special techniques like hypnosis, meditation, and some of those, and the unhackable process to really release the symptoms. And that can be a valuable piece. So number one, you start treating the symptoms. Number two, you treat the nerve damage. So you say, okay, I need to do what is necessary to help stop the nerve damage that is happening by treating the disease processes or eliminating the toxicity or whatever. And these are very, very distinct. They are also a little bit slower, but they need to be part of your process. If you know you have a toxic peripheral neuropathy, you need to treat the toxic problems. You need to remove the toxins. If you have a diabetic peripheral neuropathy, you need to manage aggressively your diabetes. And aggressively means you want to get your blood sugars to as normal a range as possible. The more normal, the less side effects, the less peripheral neuropathy you have. And so you've got to treat that. If you don't treat that, all the other treatments are going to fail. They're not going to work like you need them to do. Number three is to work on repairing those nerves. This is the most important, and this is going to determine what other treatments you should be doing as well. So initially, you're going to start treating the symptoms, you're going to start managing the damage, and then you say, okay, now I'm going to work very aggressively on repairing the nerves. And that can come in a wide range of treatments, and many of these can be done together. The way that you eat and the way that you exercise, these are very, very valuable and very effective ways of improving and repairing nerves. The vitamins and minerals and nutrients that you're taking, these are very effective ways as well at treating peripheral neuropathy. And what I'm going to say is those three all need to be done. They all need to be part of this process. If you're not doing that, you're going to have a harder time getting to the point where your peripheral neuropathy is normal. Another piece of this puzzle, though, is there are treatments that can be done to repair the nerves. One of the most effective we found is the MLS laser actually treats the nerves, treats them at the cellular level, and helps them repair. And so that is a piece of that puzzle as well. There are other machines and other treatments that people are claiming can actually repair the nerves as well. You want to be careful in this process that if you're saying, okay, I'm going to treat with the laser and I'm going to treat with vitamins, I'm going to treat with nutrients, I'm going to treat it with exercise, I'm going to be aggressive at trying to repair these nerves, that you don't use other treatments for symptoms or other treatments to treat the nerve damage to the point that you're actually causing additional fatigue of the nerves. So if you think of a nerve as a wire, let's use that as the analogy here. You've got a wire and you're sending an electrical current through that wire. You've got a certain amount of electrical current on this end, and you're repairing, trying to get that nerve to work. If you repair that nerve, but you run out of electrical current on the other end, it's not going to matter if that nerve's working normal. The nerve still won't work. And so one of the mistakes that a lot of us make is we over-treat the nerves, trying to do all kinds of things. We say, okay, I'm going to use an infrared light. I'm going to use nutrients, exercise, vitamins, the MLS laser. I'm going to use electrical stimulation. There's multiple electrical stimulation machines, Neurogenics, Tacomed, TENS units, Calmare, all of these, and you're saying, okay, which of these will cause depletion of the neurotransmitters, which will cause the point where the nerve can't send a signal, even though it's healed, even though it's repaired. And you want to make sure that you're not using the repair mechanisms and these depleting treatments at the same time. If you do, you will find a significant problem overall in the treatment. So if I needed to be simple about this, I would not do most of the electrical stimulations at the same time I'm doing the MLS laser. The only thing that is different is any of those treatments that are used to re-educate the nerve, to get the nerve to function more appropriately, are working synergistically with the repair, because as you repair the nerve, you also help it function appropriately. That works. Depolarizing the nerve or overstimulating the nerve or even repressing the nerve, all will interfere with the healing that the MLS laser will do. So you want to be careful in how you're doing it and what you're doing, and I don't recommend they're used at the same time. So neurogenics, I wouldn't use with the MLS laser. Huckermed, I wouldn't use with the MLS laser. TENS units, I wouldn't use with the MLS laser. Rebuilder, yes. Calmare, yes. The infrared light type therapies, are those a problem with the MLS laser, the repair process? They are not. PEMF treatments, because they're working in a different mechanism and they're actually helping through the magnetic fields to help the nerves function more appropriately, they can be used with MLS laser and they're not a problem. So what it comes down to is you want to say, okay, I'm going to do the appropriate treatments which are going to improve the health of the body, which includes exercise, the way that you eat, the fluids that you're bringing into your body, the nutrients that you're bringing into your body. But I'm not going to say, okay, I'm going to do 3, 4, 5, 6 different types of treatment all at the same time to give me the best chance of healing, because you may actually cause a slowdown of the improvement, a slowdown of progression, and ultimately not get the repair and the help that you really, really want. This is Dr. Brandt Gibson, and this is your Neuropathy Nugget, day 280.